TNA Under Siege results. Mike Santana defeat KC Navarro with AJ Francis. Originally it was supposed to be AJ Francis but faked an injury. Santana wins but gets attacked by AJ Francis. Eddie Edwards defeat Cody Deaner via Boston Knee Party. Cody Deaner's TNA career ended as the referee didn't see Alicia Edwards hit a low blow on him, and Eddie followed that up with the Boston Knee Party for the victory. The Northern Armory, Eric Young, Judas Icarus and Travis Williams defeat The System, Moose, Brian Myers and JDC via pile driver. Alicia hit the Hammer Honey Badger with a kendo stick. She handed it to Moose. Then, City Councilman Rod Power, also ringside with Hammer the Honey Badger, who stopped Moose from using the kendo stick on Eric Young. Brian Myers took the stick from him and then Japal Massey Singh, CEO of the Brampton Board of Trade, took it from Myers. All that distraction led to Eric Young hitting a pile driver on Moose for the victory. TNA Knockout Championships, match by Elegance, Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance, C, with the personal concierge, defeat Spitfire, Danny Luna and Jody Threat. If Spitfire loses, they must split via rarefied air. Maggie Lee appeared in the end to save Ash and Heather. She gave Danny a big boot, nearly sending her through a table. Ash splashed her through the table. The match ended when she hit rarefied air on Jody. Spitfire must disband. Order 4, Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steeles, John Schuyler and Jason Hodge, defeats Raj Singh, Indy Hartwell and the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, via 450 splash. Ali defeated Singh with a 450 splash. He then tried to smother him in the ring apron. Tasha Steeles tried to pull him off and get him to regain his composure. Ali shoved her to the floor before the great hands helped her to her feet. Even though Order 4 left together, everybody was visibly shaken. Tessa Blanchard defeats Ariana Grace via Magnum. Tessa beat Grace with Magnum. Santino tried to help his daughter leave the ring, and Stone brought security to eject them from the ringside. He also banned him. TNA Knockouts World Championship, Masha Slamovich, C, defeats Victoria Crawford via Requiem. Masha decided that she wants to face Lei Ying Lee for the belt next, and she called her out. Lee came out and answered the challenge. Stone interrupted and said she can't make any matches, only he can. TNA World Tag Team Championships, NIC Namath and Ryan Namath, C, defeat Matt Hardy and Leon Slater. Fast-paced and Leon Slater is a bona fide star. Elijah and Joe Henry defeat Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian via standing ovation. Fun match where the stars put out a nice-paced match. Ends with Trick and Joe Henry eye to eye. Now to What If with Lilith.
To another episode of EveryRing, That's Everything Wrestling. Continuing with the topic What If. Today we will deal with, what if WCW won the Monday Night Battle? WWE. Financial struggles. WWE might have faced significant financial difficulties, potentially leading to layoffs, cuts in production, and even a sale to another company. Vince McMahon would feel a big pressure. He was the sole owner, so this would create a lot of pressure. Creative limitations. WWE's creative output might have suffered under WCW's dominance, leading to a lack of innovation and a decline in fan interest. During this period, the emergence of The Rock, Stone Cold and DC would greatly be affected. Creative may look to tone down or up. Talent exodus. Top WWE talent might have been more inclined to leave for WCW, potentially leading to a weakening of the roster. This would be the biggest shift. Can you imagine Steve Austin fighting NWO? How about The Rock joining NWO, or worse, taking the reins away from Hulk Hogan? That would have been an interesting dynamic. Bringing in a lot of talent could mean already established wrestlers losing out. Potential shifts in wrestling culture. More diverse styles. WCW's potential dominance could have led to a broader range of wrestling styles being showcased, with more emphasis on athletic competition, storytelling, and even different genres. WCW looked to bringing luchadors and Japanese wrestlers early on. Satomura briefly appeared in WCW, so the worldview would be vastly different. Focus on storytelling. WCW might have prioritized storytelling and character development over solely focusing on athletic feats, potentially leading to more complex and engaging narratives. Changing the narrative and winning the war could have changed the whole wrestling scene as we know it. Global expansion. With WCW as the dominant force, professional wrestling might have seen a greater push into international markets, leading to a more global fanbase. AEW. If WCW consistently beat WWE in ratings, it's likely that the wrestling market would be considered saturated. WWE, in such a scenario, might have focused on other avenues of entertainment rather than directly competing with WCW for ratings. This would have made it less likely for a new, independent promotion like AEW to gain traction. If WCW won, there definitely wouldn't be the emergence of the company. AEW takes pride in being the alternative to WWE, so with no WWE then there wouldn't be a need for an alternative. AEW's unique style might not have resonated as much with the audience. Wrestlers like Sting were established in WCW, so he wouldn't need to find that second renaissance. WCW winning would have established a working relationship with Japan before AEW, so this would be radically different. NWO mirrored the build of the Bullet Club, so this would have been an interesting concept with them facing off and creating the Forbidden Door before anyone expected. Again making the emergence of AEW unnecessary with likelihood of Tony Khan looking to work for WCW. As mentioned, change of culture. It's true WCW had a rich history in cruiserweights but didn't embrace them. The likes of Jericho and Eddie Guerrero broke their teeth in WCW but were not respected. So how would that have affected the development? Wrestlers like Omega and Young Bucks may have stayed in Japan, and when the Forbidden Door opened, new markets would get to see these stars. The landscape would be vastly different, so again WCW and their style would dictate a lot of the wrestling narrative and the fingerprint would be more Southern style. TNA. This would be interesting. TNA may have been created to be the alternative to WCW. Vince McMahon may lick his wounds and take his pride to join forces with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff may have not needed Dixie Carter and went to Vince instead. Alternatively, Jarrett was a prominent figure in WCW during the Monday Night War, and his career would have likely been different had WCW been more successful. So if he never broke away, it could ultimately lead to no TNA. If the scenario did persist, this would have been an interesting choice. This would probably mirror Vince's start, where he saw himself as the man who changed wrestling, and working with Jeff Jarrett could have been revolutionary. The likes of Samoa Joe and AJ Styles may have been more household names prior jumping ship. Also, how would that have affected ECW, ROH, etc.? Again, WCW won and stories of NWO would cloud everything. Come the victors, come the spoils. Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff would be unstoppable and would clearly change the spectrum of wrestling as we know it. So what are your feelings on the topic? Now to predictions for WWE's Saturday's Night Main Event and TNA's Border Brawl.
Because of the spectrum of how big of a wrestling weekend this is, I'm back for a special occasion in putting in the predictions. WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. R-Truth vs. John Cena. Childhood hero meets his hero and is let down. John Cena should win this, but maybe Cody Rhodes returns and makes things interesting. Winner: John Cena. WWE Women's United States Championship match. Zelina Vega vs. Chelsea Green. Rematch of the Women's U.S. Championship. Zelina will make up for her loss in the triple threat and should retain. Winner: Zelina Vega. Steel cage match. Damian Priest vs. Drew McIntyre. This feud has been building nicely and easily solidifying the Drew McIntyre character. Winner: Damian Priest. CM Punk and Sami Zayn vs. Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. A lot of speculations of Sami Zayn turning heel, but it doesn't make sense, but there should be some kind of swerve or surprise. Let's go crazy and predict Omos becomes an enforcer for Seth and Braun. Winner: Seth and Braun. WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Jey Uso vs. Logan Paul. Jey Uso is riding high on fans. Logan Paul has a lot to prove and this could be something special. Logan winning would be interesting, especially with Gunther facing the winner. Do we see Gunther vs J3 or Gunther vs Logan? Winner: Jey Uso. Now let's go to NXT Battleground. Josh Briggs, Hank and Tank vs. The Culling. Josh Briggs is going through a lot and I'm thinking he turns and becomes part of the Culling. Winner: The Culling. Tony D'Angelo vs. Stax Lorenzo. The family has been disbanded and Tony in a lot of distress. Some spectate Tony going to the main roster, so Lorenzo will become the de facto leader. Winner: Stax Lorenzo Channing. NXT Women's North American Championship match, Sol Ruca vs. Kalani Jordan. 2 belts. Ruca is proving to be an amazing superstar. Sol Ruca wins but Zarya will turn on her. Winner: Sol Ruca retains. TNA World Championship match, Joe Hendry vs. Trick Williams. This feud has been a perfect slow burn. Trick's heel turn has been magnificent. Winner: Trick Williams, becoming the new TNA champion. NXT Women's Championship match, Stephanie Vaquer vs. Jordynne Grace. The best women's division is on display again. Jordynne Grace should win and this can lead to Stephanie Vaquer move to the main roster. Winner: Jordynne Grace. NXT Championship match, Oba Femi vs. Miles Bourne. Meteoric rise of Miles Bourne is something special but nothing is going to stop the ruler. Winner: Oba Femi. TNA Border Brawl. USA vs Canada where wrestling is mirroring reality. Matt Hardy USA vs. Eric Young Canada. Eric Young is riding high and should bring the first win for Canada. Winner: Eric Young. Canada 1, USA 0. Tessa Blanchard USA vs. Jody Threat Canada. Tessa is the most hated star but she'll continue her rise. Winner: Tessa. Canada 1, USA 1. Nick Nemeth USA vs. Santino Marella Canada in a flag match. Nick Nemeth is making his run in TNA feel special and he'll help USA take the lead. Winner: Nick Nemeth. Canada 1, USA 2. Moose and Johnny Dango Curtis USA vs. Channing Decker and Jesse Bieber Canada. Moose is Mr. Tiana and is leading the system to greatness. Winner: The System. Canada 1, USA 3. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers USA vs. The Northern Armory Canada. Northern Armory are moving forward as one of the best young tag teams. Winner: Northern Armory. Canada 2, USA 3. Victoria Crawford USA vs. Rosemary's alter ego Courtney Rush Canada. Courtney Rush Rosemary is one of the best TNA has to offer and she'll help bring a tie. Winner: Courtney Rush. Canada 3, USA 3. Tommy Dreamer USA vs. Champagne Singh Canada in a hardcore match. The tie-breaker and the hardcore legend does his best to bring honor. Winner: Tommy Dreamer. Canada 3, USA 4. AEW Double, or Nothing. Men's Owen Hart Tournament Finals, Hangman Page vs. Will Ospreay. 2 of the hottest stars in AEW who are the faces of the company. Will Ospreay should win and be named the Owen Hart Cup winner. Women's Owen Hart Tournament Finals, Jaimie Hayter vs. Mercedes Mone. Mercedes Mone is the GOAT for the women's division and Tony Khan is so predictable. Winner: Mercedes Mone. Anarchy in the Arena match, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs and Katsuyori Shibata vs. Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta and the Young Bucks. The return of Darby Allin will make the faces win and set up the highly anticipated Mox vs. Darby. Winner: Swerve's team. AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm vs. Mina Shirakawa. Mina is making waves and is promised to be the face of the division. Winner: in new AEW Women's World Champ Mina. AEW World Tag Team Championship, The Hurt Syndicate vs. Sons of Texas. This is odd with zero build-up and focus on MJF has hurt the tag division. Hurt Syndicate should win but MJF helps in a pointless fashion. Winner: Hurt Syndicate. AEW Continental Championship match, Kazuka Okada vs. Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey has been doing a lot but not getting a lot, weird but this should be the match of the night. Winner: Mike Bailey. Stretcher match, Mark Briscoe vs. Ricochet. Ricochet's turn the dark side has been brilliant. Winner: Ricochet. FTR vs. Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. Why? There is no point in this match and FTR as the established team should win but reasons. Winner: FTR. Well, let's go to Avard and the discussion. Wow and thanks for having me return for a brief moment. Let's wrestle, or whatever Avard says.
Let's discuss the week that was in wrestling. WWE star Roman Reigns is reportedly being considered for a role in the upcoming live-action Street Fighter movie. Following his cousin's path to Hollywood, WrestleMania 42 is not headed to the Big Easy. WWE's flagship event will not take place in New Orleans in 2026, the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation and TKO Group Holdings, Inc. It's rumored to be heading back to Las Vegas. WrestleMania should be presented in different cities, but lately it hasn't. Las Vegas, New Orleans, Los Angeles and Philadelphia. Why not pick something different? Minneapolis, Minnesota's US Bank Stadium would be a great idea, so the Midwest gets a chance to enjoy the feel of WrestleMania. Money in the Bank qualifier matches continued this past Monday on Raw. One of the qualifying matches was a triple threat match between former WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley, a returning Kairi Sane, and former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Zoe Stark. During the match, Stark tried to hit a dropkick on Sane. Unfortunately, Stark landed badly on her knee and was immediately removed from the match. So let's send out our thoughts and prayers for a quick recovery for Zoe Starks. AEW Chicago Residency. The show will take place at the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. AEW has announced last month for doing the same with the former ECW Arena, so now Chicago will do the same. Lee Moriarty is the real deal in the art world. On Friday, a press release was issued to announce that Perez Art Museum Miami has acquired artwork by Lee Moriarty, marking the historic first museum acquisition by an active pro wrestler. The painting, Summer Garden Selfie, 2024 is a jarringly intimate portrait of a luchador adorned in a pink mask and surrounded by delicate foliage, offering a nuanced and atypical depiction of the sport and grappling with themes of masculinity, emotion, and performance. Congrats! Ace Austin's time in TNA has come to an end. Austin has been with TNA since 2019. He is a 3-time TNA World Tag Team Champion and a 3-time TNA X Division Champion. However, that run looks to be over, according to a recent post from Scott D'Amore. At Under Siege we saw the disbanding of Speedfire, where Jody Threat and Danny Luna will seek singles run. Also, Cody Deaner losing his match and will no longer be with the company. Wow! Now let's discuss the matches of the week and wrestlers of the week. WWE Matches of the Week. Raw. The Money in the Bank qualifier. Roxanne Perez vs Becky Lynch vs Nutty. This match was just amazing and again put on display the great women's division and setting up a spectacular Money in the Bank match. NXT #1 contender for North American Championship. Shawn Legacy vs Javan Evans vs Ashanti Adonis. Wow, the athleticism presented in this match was something very special. Of course, the match of Legacy vs Evans is now needed like air is needed to breath. Women's Money in the Bank qualifier. Guilia vs Charlotte vs US champ Zelina Vega. Again the A-listers competing and solidifying the best damn women's division. AEW. Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks vs Swerve Strickland and the Oops. An amazing chemistry between these 6 men was amazing. Plus further add to Anarchy in the arena match for Double or Nothing. TNA. Joe Hendry and Elijah vs The System, Moose and Brian Myers. The match was fun and methodical. Joe Hendry is just doing it all and has embraced the leadership role spectacularly. Wrestlers of the Week. WWE. Giulia. Winning the All-Star bracket was something special. Giulia is an international phenom and is proving every day in the ring. AEW. Will Ospreay and Adam Page. Their promo against each other was something special, so not actually wrestling but adding to their match for the Owen Hart Cup was amazing. TNA. Northern Armory. They were very active. They may have lost to the Aztec Warriors but are solidifying themselves as a real threat for the tag division. What an amazing weekend of wrestling. Like always, if you want to be part of the show, email us at everything@gmail.com. We did get 2 emails and thank you so very much. You can check out our Facebook where we put all the up-to-date wrestling news. Plus, on YouTube, like, subscribe and help further the show. So let's wrestle. Chalo kushti le den.
Wrestling is something special, as you can see our human element dealt with a lot of superstars. King Kong Bundy, a wrestler deserving WWE Hall of Fame. Sherry Martel was an amazing person who helped revolutionize the women's division. The Crusher, who Milwaukee famous, was a classic star. Puppet the Midget was a bigger-than-life superstar who is both engaging and ahead of his time. Wrestling is life and we want to push it forward.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 14, Kenosha Community Television. Remember to tune into my program, Just Talkin', shown right here, Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Channel 14. On the program, we cover community events, talk to nonprofit organizations, and who knows, we may bump into a celebrity now and then. So remember to tune in to Just Talkin' Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. right here on Channel 14.
Kenosha Community Media. For years, we have informed, entertained, and performed community services for the city of Kenosha. Kenosha Community Media is your television station where you are the star, creator, and performer. To contact us, 262-564-6103. Website, kenoshamedia.org.
Hey kids! Do you guys like cartoons?
I love cartoons!
Do you like to see the old classic cartoons that your families were raised with?
I would love to, but where can I watch those at?
Well, we're bringing back classical cartoons with Mr. Bunker's Cartoon Apocalypse, where we resurrect old cartoons.
Oh, when is it on?
On Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. and Sunday mornings at 10:30, where you get to see classic cartoons like Betty Boop.
I love Betty Boop.
Popeye.
Big Popeye fan.
We have great Huckle and Jekyll.
Oh, I love those.
So Kenosha Community Media is bringing back the classical cartoons with Mr. Bunker's Cartoon Apocalypse.
Question, does Mr. Bonkers have any friends on that show?
He has a lot of friends. We're hosting, we're Chalk and Manimal, but he has great friends like Chef Luigi.
Look, we're gonna stop the kids.
He has Peanut the Peacock.
Hello, kids.
He has Cinnamon the Ape.
What's going on, brothers?
And his friend that also hosts a different show, it's Klutz the Clown.
Hey, kids, it's tough being a clown.
So if you enjoy cartoons, if you want to watch something that's whimsical and nostalgic, please tune into Mr. Bonker's Cartoon Apocalypse, Saturdays and Sundays, Saturdays at 10, Sundays at 10:30. And we would enjoy to join us because you could be our circus freaks. Bye, kids.
Goodbye, kids.
Hey, Bambinos. Do you like movies?
I sure do. I like the movies.
Yeah, we have a new show called What the Heck Are We Watching?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, it's a show that we review movies for coming weeks.
No, what are we watching? You said what the heck are we watching? You tell me.
We're watching the movies.
Oh, that's all right. We're watching the movies. Hey, you knew we were doing this promo. How come you didn't put your shoes on? That's a little unprofessional, no?
Because we like to be freelancing, and we every Friday at 5 and Saturdays at 10:30, you can listen to our reviews.
We have a great reviews. We're better than those other jabronis that used to do the reviews, huh?
Yeah, if you like Cisco and Ebert, you'll love us better. What the heck are we doing? Oh, watching.
I don't know what we do half the time either, but what the heck are we watching?
What the heck are we watching? We go over movies, we give them thumbs up, thumbs down, if we like them, and basically, we tell you if you want to go see a movie or not.
That's all right. And the most important message you get from the show is, visit your grandparents.
Yeah.
It takes 10 to 15 minutes. Just go see them, give them a kiss, give them a hugs, and go to visit, huh?
So on Fridays at 5.
And Saturday morning to 10:30.
What the heck are you doing watching?
What are you doing right now? It's what the heck are we watching? Sorry, my wife has suffered some of dementia, but it's a what the heck are we watching?
What the heck are we watching? Bye, Bambinos!
Now, the question I have to ask now, where the heck are we parking, right?
Service!
All right.
Just Turned Heel, hosted by Danger Dan and Diablo Angelico, as seen on EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling. Behind the curtain look at professional wrestling. A gritty shoot style of interviews where we look at various aspects of wrestling. Ever wanted to know what an indie star needs to do to get their foot in the door? Ever wanted to know what a booker does? Ever wanted to know the purpose of a referee is? Just Turned Heel will plunge into the world of wrestling and look at every facet. Just Turned Heel, YouTube exclusive, starting January 28, 2024.
Beware, take care. The little green dragon sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys, puppy dog tails, and big, fat snails. Beware! Pull the string! Pull the string! Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater can be viewed on Saturdays at 9 o'clock, Tuesdays at 3 o'clock, and Fridays at midnight. All right, ghoulies, you tune in. You won't be let down.
You haven't seen horror till you've seen horror of the crying skull. See teenagers getting killed. See horror coming at you every scene and a skull. See the skull coming at you. The skull, and hear her cry. I hope you enjoy the horror of the crying skull.